Welcome back to Weird Stuff in a Can. Today we have a selection of drinks with protein in them. You might think, drinks with protein in them, not that unusual. Perhaps it's got some whey protein in there or something like that. Products with added protein are getting very common these days, as if actually in the developed world we'd need more protein in our diet. We probably don't. So anyway, this is Applied Nutrition sparkling protein water in 4 different flavours, and the protein in here is collagen. 10 grams of collagen in each can. Interestingly, cherry is the only one that says collagen protein on the front. The rest just say protein, but the ingredients are all the same apart from the flavour. Speaking of ingredients then, we've got carbonated water, hydrolyzed collagen peptides, acid, which is malic acid. Actually, that might be different. Let's just have a look and see what's different in... No, it's malic acid in that one, and even in the orange, I think, yes, it's malic acid. Right, where were we? So, acid, malic acid, coconut water powder, natural flavouring, preservatives, potassium sorbate, vitamin C, sweetener, sucralose. That's it. Interestingly, this little logo here says with hydrating coconut water powder. How does powder hydrate? I mean, obviously it's got liquid in here, and presumably there's something about coconut water that is isotonic or something like that. Anyway, that's that. On screen are the nutritional values if you're interested in that. Best served chilled. This sparkling protein drink is a revitalising beverage that combines the benefits of high-quality protein, hydrating coconut water powder, and immune-boosting vitamin C. Each can offers a crisp, sparkling experience that's not only refreshing but packed with essential nutrients. 10 grams of protein, refresh, revitalise and hydrate, boost immunity, lactose, dairy and gluten-free, halal certified. So, yeah, so the collagen in here, food-grade collagen is typically sourced from bones and hides and tendons, bits of connective tissue basically that come out of the meat production process. So pretty much the stuff that we used to boil down and make glue out of, but now we're eating the glue. Not quite the same stuff on the cans here, but not really worth talking about the differences. We will open all of these and taste them all. But these need to be chilled down because it says best served chilled and they're not chilled at the moment. So anyway, back in a moment. We'll open these up and give them a taste. Okay, we're back with the chilled cans. Let's give them a taste. Oh yeah, so a couple of other things. It says, where was it? Underneath, caution. Well, such tiny writing. I mean, my eyes are not great these days anyway, but such tiny writing. Caution. Not recommended for children or pregnant or breastfeeding women. Not to be used as a substitute for a varied diet and healthy lifestyle. Do not exceed the suggested use of 1 to 3 cans daily. Store in a cool, dry place away from children. Don't know. I suppose probably they just don't want the responsibility. Anyway, the apple first. So, bone apple tea. It looks like I would expect an apple drink to look. Pale greenish yellow. It smells of apples a little bit, but it also smells of like dog biscuits. You know that kind of hardware store, bone meal. It's what it smells of. That is interesting. Okay, I can't put off having a taste here. I was expecting that there might be some mouthfeel element to this with collagen in there. I suppose 10 grams of collagen maybe isn't a lot, but I was expecting perhaps some sort of mouthfeel. In fact, I was wondering if chilling it would make it set in the can. So it's a nice tangy apple start, and then there's a kind of, yeah, it's a meaty, soupy flavour that comes in over the top of that and lingers. So yeah, interesting. And a little bit of that kind of stale dog biscuit, bone meal, old-fashioned hardware shop aroma to it. So that's apple. Oh yeah, I suppose I should probably taste some of this from the can because people always say taste it from the can as well because that's different apparently. Not really. It tastes a little bit soupy. Okay, what's next? Well, a little palate cleanser first. We'll do orange next, and then we can compare apples and oranges. That's not what I would expect from an orange flavoured fizzy drink. It looks exactly the same as the apple. It's not. It's slightly cloudy. Yeah, slightly cloudy, a little bit more golden yellow. It smells of zesty marmalade, but again, it's got that kind of kind of dog biscuit smell to it. I think that background soupiness is less noticeable in this one because the zesty notes of the orange, they carry on for a bit longer in this one. So yeah, I'm not getting that kind of weird soupy flavour so much with this. So that's the orange, which I'll also try from the can. Oh, now I suddenly did get the meaty vibe from that one. That kind of casserole flavour. Cherry. Well, now I am disappointed that that's not slightly pink, but they aren't using, well, it says natural flavourings, but that doesn't necessarily mean that those flavourings come from the fruit that they are supposed to. It does say flavour rather than flavoured. Yeah, it's flavour rather than flavoured. So in the UK, if it says flavoured, if something says cherry flavoured, it has to have cherries in it. If it says cherry flavour, it can be natural or artificial flavour, but it doesn't have to have cherries in it. So it's the flavour of cherries or flavoured with cherries. Anyway, oh, that one's kind of slightly towards the more greeny, bluey. That one doesn't really smell of cherries. It's ever so slightly smells of, it does smell of red fruits of some sort. Anyway, but it does taste of cherries. So it's got that benzaldehyde cherry marzipan. Actually not a bad flavour. Very rounded berry-like cherry flavour. And again, not getting the meatiness there so much. And then finally, tropical burst flavour, which appears to be peach and passion fruit. But we won't really know. Those might not be the actual flavours. That might just be fruit representing the flavour. It does smell of passion fruit and peach. And yeah, it's slightly more, again, ever so slightly more orangey yellow. The flavour on that one's not particularly forward. It does taste of peaches and passion fruit, which is, I assume, what it's meant to. But actually the flavour in there really does taste a little bit artificial. It tastes like peach flavoured gummy sweets. So really, really intensely peach rather than natural peach. But yeah, again, not so much getting the meaty vibe from that one. Is that just because I've got numb to the whole notion of it? Who knows? But there they are anyway, all lined up. So let's just get those so you can see them in the camera. They don't look all that different, but yeah, so the apple one's crystal clear, so's the cherry. The orange and the peach and passion fruit ones are slightly cloudy. So the question in my mind is, now if I taste the apple one again, am I going to taste that soupy, casserole, stewy, sort of meaty vibe? Definitely. It's actually just making the whole drink a bit weird. These other three, I reckon you could probably serve them to me and I wouldn't know that there's anything amiss. The apple one definitely tastes like it's got something, you know, it tastes like it's got a bit of meat in there or something like that. I mean, that's essentially what's going on here. Now, you might have noticed I've got an extra glass here because the thing I always forget to do with these multiple taste things is to try mixing them. So we'll have a bit of apple, a bit of orange, equal amounts, a bit of cherry, and a bit of peach and passion fruit. Now the trouble is with fruit flavours is once you mix about 5 fruits together, it always tastes the same as every other mixture of 5 fruits. That is actually quite unpleasant when it's mixed like that. I am even now getting even more of that really weird, I guess it is just bone broth flavour. How strange. Well, there you go. Yeah, don't do that. Forgot to say I paid £1.59 for these in the range. I won't be buying these again. They're not really all that enjoyable. And I think the notion that there's useful protein in here is pretty spurious, really. Unless you have some special dietary restriction or requirements that means you can't get protein from solid food, then maybe this would be a useful way of getting a few grams of extra protein in your diet. I would avoid the apple. I think probably the best of the bunch is the orange. But I shan't be buying these again. I don't think they're really all that nice. They're not horrible, so if you had to drink this for some reason, it would be alright. But I don't have a reason to buy these again, so I probably won't. So that was weird stuff in a can on atomic shrimp. I hope that's been interesting. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.